Good morning, everybody. My name is Mary Robeson. For those of you guys who are new here, I am getting ready this morning, and I thought, why not do a get ready with me and share with you guys a super simple look that I am doing and how amazing our foundations and products are. So I am actually using, that's a cheek and an eye color. And in just a minute, I'll show you the other eye color I'm using. This is actually a look of the month for next month. But I have been liking it so much that I went ahead and have been using it a lot. It's fun. So let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? And how did you come about finding me? So some of you guys have been customers for years, known me for years, maybe most of my life, or maybe even all of your life, depending on who you are. So I have been with Mary Kay Global for 23 years this weekend. I used the products for 10 years before I became a consultant. Then I thought, you know what? This stuff is top notch. I'm not going to use anything else. Why not get it at a discount and have the ability to make some extra cash? And that is exactly what I did for a long time. So 23 years, and I was still am a beauty consultant, but I also stepped into the role as a sales director 3 years ago. Absolutely love it. Okay, this is our cream eye stick, and I have a little mirror beside me too, so I can kind of see double. Sometimes it doesn't quite show the same in my camera mirror as it does in a regular mirror. And what I'm wanting, for me personally, what I'm wanting is just a light shade here. That gets pretty deep right there when I do that. And so I will blend that in. And you can blend this with your finger. You can also blend it with a brush. I had every intention of blending just with the brush, but sometimes those darker spots, I need a little bit more blending. Like I said, this is just a fun, I'm taking quite a bit to do my makeup because I'm talking. But if I'm doing this in the morning, like yesterday, getting ready, I was ready to walk out the door in 5 minutes. So at the end, you'll see, and maybe I'll go back and edit so that you guys can see at the beginning, or put something in there so you guys can see what it looks like. But I think I can edit my photos after they upload. I am still learning technology. Let me know in the comments, do you know a lot? Okay, this is what I was after before when I accidentally got that oops there, because I love how easy this blends. Now you can totally do amazing different lines with this, and this is a waterproof cream eye color. We have them in several colors, so you can actually just do that. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't turn on my lights. Okay, see, you too can do this. I need a little bit more on this eye. I do have to be careful because that is the side where my windows are in this office. And so sometimes when I get out, I see, oh, not quite. Now that looks beautiful. I'm going to put just a little tiny bit right there to blend. So I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Have you tried our amazing Mary Kay? Or are you just new to it? So Mary Kay is #1. For those of you guys who don't know, Mary Kay is #1 in the direct sales market. And you might be thinking, so why direct sales? Well, friends, direct sales simply means, in a nutshell, it means that we are not paying for retail space in an establishment. We're not paying for retail space, and we are not paying for a celebrity's salary to advertise our products. Our products are number one worldwide. Our eye makeup remover, and if you go and see last night's Get Unready with me, you'll see me using that. Our eye makeup remover, we sell one every 5 seconds. It is phenomenal stuff, and if you have never tried it, I would love to bless you with the ability to try it. So, oops, I put away one of them that I didn't want to put away. So our products are number one in the entire world for the direct sales market. And we have 100% guarantee for a year on our products. We also have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval on many of our products, which just means almost like a double guarantee. That's how amazing Mary Kay products are. So I'm actually, this is something I don't do a whole lot of, but I'm using our blue eyeliner. And I am not one to like it on my waterline. So I'm going right on my hairline here. And I will blend it in just a moment to lighten it up and give it a softer look. There we go. Okay, now it still looks like wow, especially because I don't normally put anything on my bottom lashes. However, when my makeup is done, when I have my mascara, it will not look so bold. And some people love that bold look. I just usually have a very simple makeup look. Pretty neutral colors, so this is a very bold color for me, but I really like it, and it has turned out very well. Okay, again, see, I have my little mirror here, and what I'm doing is not doing my waterline, but I'm doing what they call tight lining, and I'm actually putting this right in to the roots of my eyelashes, and I'll show you in just a moment the difference between my two eyes from just getting it in there. Oops. Okay. Can you tell how drastically different that is? It just gives me more volume in my lashes. I do have that little tiny bit right there, and I don't have a Q-tip here, so hopefully they're just blended out a little bit with that one. I'm going to do the same thing on this eye. Just right into my lash base. And you could do this look lots of different ways. You could do a top eyeliner. I might actually just do a little bit of eyeliner on the top. But can you tell how my lashes look already thicker, and I haven't put any mascara at all on them? So maybe I will just do just a hair on the top there. This is our waterproof eyeliner. I absolutely love it. And in the bottom of it, oops, in the bottom of it, we have a sharpener. So I can make it super sharp there. And I've got my garbage can right there that I can wipe off my stuff that I had on my finger. All right, so I am going to go ahead and just put a little bit on the top. And I'm going to use one of my blending brushes to soften this and kind of smooth it. So I don't need to go all the way across to my lashes, but it will soften and slowly fade across there. Do the same thing on my other eye. Funny, that commercial actually is talking about LinkedIn. I joined LinkedIn many years ago, but have really done nothing with it. I'd love to know, have you? Because I've recently had some mentors tell me I really needed to get into it. It's something I've never done before. Besides, just, okay, I'm supposed to join this, I'll join. And then I did nothing with it. So let me know, do you use it? Is it helpful? Would you recommend it? Now, your eyes and your brows are sisters, not twins, so I don't have to have them identical, but they're very, very close. And I am done with that, you guys. This look really, like I said, it has been 11 minutes, but if I was doing this in my own bathroom, this actually would be much, much faster. The big thing is that I'm doing it for you on camera, which means I really slow it down. And I'm talking through so much more than I normally would. So I have very long, beautiful lashes, but they do not curl very well. And so I manually curl them. And then I'm going to go ahead and put our waterproof mascara on. And the reason I personally use waterproof isn't because I'm getting in a swimming pool today. It is because I have what I call cow lashes. Very lovingly, but I call them cow lashes because they just flatten right out. They are long, they're beautiful, but they don't seem to hold a curl. Now, if you are local to the West Virginia tri-state area and you know somebody who does phenomenal on lifts, please reach out to me. Growing up in Oregon and living there for most of my entire life, I had an amazing woman who did my lash lifts. And then I could use any of our mascaras, no need for waterproof over the top. And it always looked phenomenal. But I have not found somebody who can do as good of a job as she can. Or that wants to work to get to where we need to be. Ooh, got some in my lash on my eye there. There we go. Okay, so the reason I use waterproof mascara is because it acts as hairspray for my lashes and it will hold my curl. So and I do a couple of layers, and what I noticed right away was, there we go, they were kind of clumped together over there, and I don't like that. So there we go. Now, like I said before, this is taking so much longer than what it actually takes in your own bathroom. So if you're thinking, Mary, cool, you look beautiful at the end, but there is no way I could do that. I do not have that kind of time. It does not take that kind of time, I promise. So I'm just having fun, going super slow, walking through some of these things. And you can see how amazing. I think I'll be all right to use this, the camera. Using my phone over my laptop gives me a completely different look. I don't do filtered in anything. quite honestly, because if I'm going to sell a skincare product and tell you guys how absolutely amazing it is and share it with you, then I want you to physically get to see what it does. Do I have perfect skin? Absolutely not. I spent all of my youth soaking up the sun. I was a very, in my later youth, I was probably this color of hair, but it would lighten in the summer, darken in the winter. I was born like a towhead, and I wanted to be tan like my friends. And the tan that I get now, I could never seem to achieve as a youth. And so I spent a lot of time in the sun with no sunblock, and instead I would use baby oil. Okay, so child of the 80s who loved to lay on the trampoline and get lots and lots and lots of sun meant that I've got some skin damage. And I am reversing it, and I am stopping some of it from coming through, but I do have it. So, I don't have perfect skin, but I do have amazing skin because we have the #1 skincare in the world for the direct sales market. So, okay, I've done my eyes. Now, I like to do my eyes before the rest of my face because I need to get this off of my finger before I touch the rest of my face. I did my eyes before I did the rest of my face because I'm going to be able to pick up and clean up anything right in here and give me a nicer, crisper line there that I'm really going to enjoy. So now that I've got that off of there, just getting the last little bits. There we go. Okay. I'm going to use, what did I just drop? You too can be in Mary Kay. Okay, so I'm going to use our foundation primer before I put my foundation on. I consider it spackle for our face. But right before I do that, I'm actually going to use a little bit of mattifying moisturizer. I have combination skin, especially when it gets to be this time of year. And we're going into town today, which means we're going off the hill, and it is probably going to be a little bit more humid than what we are right here. Now, once we're in the building that we're going into, we'll probably be fine because we've got some appointments to go to. But this will stop me from getting that sweaty shininess. I'll let that sit for just a moment, and then I'm literally going to take this and I make a line on my middle finger, just about like that. Nothing fancy, it's just what I decide works best for me. I rub them together, and I'm going to work this into my pores. So like I said, this is spackle for your face, in essence. This is going to give you an amazing, soft, silky, smooth canvas. So I am going up and out so I can really get into the pores. When I'm doing my foundation, I like to use translucent powder over the top in just a few spots. And so I will make sure those go downward at the end because your facial hairs do grow down. But there we go. Now, I'm going to use just a little bit of our under eye corrector. Right in here where I'm just a little bit darker. I was having reminders go off. Let me know in the comments, do you guys have to set reminders about things? Because I do. My list, I just don't remember everything. So I set little reminders. Okay. You might be thinking, Mary, that's obvious there. Well, it won't be obvious in just a bit. But this peach undertone counteracts the blue that creates your dark circles. So I also have concealer to use wherever I need to use a little concealer. But this, and you can actually mix. You can mix this with your concealer if needed. And this spot right here, and sometimes it's actually just the shadow that's in this office, because once I'm out and about, I don't see that like I do there. But there we go. Okay. And I am going to use just a hint of concealer. And I'm putting it on my hand first so that I can stipple just a hair off and not have too much. So there is tons of other things you could do. Today, I'm not going to, because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. But you could totally do underpainting, highlight contour. I actually have all those little things out, but I'm not going to do all of that today. Since I still have a little bit left there, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit right down here, and that's going to help blend the two of them. Definitely not needed. But I'm just going to go ahead and actually, I'm not going to do all of it, but I am going to do a little bit of our lighter concealer. Because I love to actually put that right here, and that will draw your eye up and out, bringing the attention there. And it's going to be right above where I actually have my my blush. So, I know I said I wasn't going to, but I looked down at it before I put it in there. I'm like, let's just go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to take my sponge. Mary Kay has an amazing new sponge I absolutely love, and I'm actually going to blend this before I use my foundation. And you can already see, you don't notice that orange, like, wow, that's all there, right? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be super quick because I feel like this has already taken way longer than I had expected, and that's okay. We're not on a timeline here. I know most of you are catching the replay, so I would love to know where you're watching from, and let me know what tip or what I'm doing that you've never done before that you're like, I think I'm going to try that. And I think while I do this, I'm actually just going to do half my face for a moment and let you guys see the difference and let me know what you think. So this is our new foundation. This is an IntelliMatch foundation. And so it might not look exactly right at the exact moment, but in about 30 seconds, it blends to match your skin. It's pretty amazing technology. And I actually have a video I did, and I like fast forwarded it, made it into a little reel, but where I put tape down the center of my face and did it. So I'd love to know if you've watched that, what you thought. If you haven't, and you're like, I don't find it, give me the link. Put it in the comments so that I can get you the link. But it is awesome. Now, this isn't going to cover everything. This is a lightweight coverage. This is a buildable coverage. This is sweat and humidity resistant. I have literally been outside in the humid heat painting and sweating. And I thought when I was out there painting, I was like, okay, well, when I get inside tonight, I ain't gonna have no makeup left on, like no big deal. I'll have nothing to wash off. And it blew me away when I used my micellar water that night, and I had so much of my makeup still perfectly intact. So it really is sweat and humidity resistant. It's phenomenal. Now, if I get super close, you can still see imperfections. It is not you could build it to be a full coverage, but that's not what I'm after. I'm just using it to enhance my God-given beauty, I guess is what you'd say. So you can see more of my freckles there than you can over here, but you can actually still see my freckles if you're looking. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And if you are still watching from the beginning, thank you so very much. Like I said, I know most of you guys are watching on replay, so I would love to know where you're watching from. I'd love to know what everybody thinks. And is there something you want to know specifically about? Is there a product that you want to know about? Is there something that you struggle with that you're like, hey, can you help me with this? So when I started Mary Kay, when I started using Mary Kay, like over 30 years ago, 33 years ago, something like that. I had very sensitive skin. I was breaking out to almost everything. We couldn't figure out what to use. And when we tried Mary Kay and it worked, my mom was like, that's it, we're done. I'm buying you this whole collection and you're not allowed to try anything else. Now, of course, I've tried different things before I became a consultant, but for the most part, my basics were all Mary Kay, because I didn't want to break out. I had found something that works amazing, has phenomenal guarantees. So if I tried something and I didn't like it, we just exchanged it for something else. No questions asked, like no issues at all. There we go. So I could actually leave it just the way this is. I personally use the Luminous formula and I love it that way. It gives me a soft, dewy glow. Kind of weird thinking that, I had such oily skin growing up that I didn't want that. But I really like it as I get older. Now I am putting a little bit on my T-zone and on my cheeks where I'm going to put my powder or my blush there. And so I'm just kind of stippling it into place, and then I will blend it downward. So anyways, I didn't know that if I used moisturizer, I wouldn't sweat so much. Nobody taught me that until I had been in Mary Kay for a number of years. And so I avoided the moisturizer. I used the cleanser, I used the foundation, used lots of different things, but moisturizer was never one of them. So we have the most amazing skincare. And if you have not gotten to try it, I would be honored and privileged to give you a sample, meet together with you. I do most everything virtually, and we can do, we can do things around our schedules. So if you've got questions, I would love to be able to help you. If you're like, hey, I'm struggling with dark spots, what can I do? If you're thinking, okay, well, I've got acne, and maybe it's adult acne. Maybe you've got a teenager in your life that that is struggling with acne. I've got the best acne products, and I've got photos of my own son, let alone others that I could share with you to show you just how amazing the product is. So my final step is my lips and my eyes. And so I am just doing a quick pencil. This is our Precision Brow Pencil. And personally, I do both this and our volumizing brow gel, and I'll get to that in just a second. But if I had an imaginary line, drew it straight up here, center my eye straight up, that's where it's going to arch, and straight over here, that's where it's going to end, right? So that is the look that I am after. Now, if I get close, you guys can see, in the camera, they might actually look like a blonder. They're actually completely unpigmented hairs. Had them my whole life. They're not gray hairs. I do have gray hairs up here though. But this volumizing brow gel, we do have it in clear. But this is like hair gel for your brows. And it's tinted, so it's going to grab those colors and grab those hairs and give them a little bit of color. I gotta see it in the closer mirror so I can make sure that I don't want to paint on my face there. Okay, so I'm gonna do my lips real quick, and then I'm gonna do my other eye. That way you guys can see the difference. Now I've actually got lipstick that I will put on in a bit, but I'm going to let this sit because this is our waterproof lip liner. And what I absolutely love about it is it's going to give me color on my lips all day long. I'm actually going to drink my coffee in just a bit. As soon as this sets and is done, it's not going to move. I'm not going to have lip marks on my coffee cup. So, but with pretty much done, I'm curious, can you tell a difference between my eyes when I do this? Can you see how this gives a finished framed look to your eyes? So your brows kind of frame your face. And I'm not looking for like, a black line, a huge trim, but it definitely gives definition to your entire face. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this one. Same type of thing. And my hairs just need to be drawn in a little bit down there as well. And I've got right here a couple sparse ones. So I put a little bit right there and kind of just catch around. But really, it's this tail that makes such a huge difference for me. And again, that imaginary line. This eye has a few more of those unpigmented ones that were more prevalent right there. So you could really see the difference as I just did that. Whereas my right eye has them actually a little bit farther back. So there we go. I am done and ready for my day. I hope that this has blessed you. I would love to hear again where you are watching from, what you think, and if you have any questions at all, whether it be makeup, skincare, body care. This is what I do. I absolutely love it. I have done it, like I said, for 23 years, and it's actually what feeds my family and pays our bills. So we are so incredibly blessed. This is because of customers like you and team members like you. So may you have a wonderful, blessed day, and I do look forward to talking to you